6 points from 6. 12 more to go. Here are 5 things we learned from our victory over Trinidad at the office. Let's get into it. Welcome to Sports Jam Media. Remember to like, share, and if you're new, subscribe. Here are 5 things we learned, starting with number 1. Our defense is solid. Now, the reality is we are doing this as a team, and generally we've been deploying a mid-block throughout the last few games. I was not pleased, but now I really think about it, people, and the reality is it is for the best. When you think about it, in the Gold Cup, we tried to press. You remember what happened against Panama? We get beat up. They played through us easily. They carved through us, knock it right through midfield, right through defense, and were playing with us. The coach has decided to, let's take a step back and let's defend more of us as a team, and we won't start pressing until the other team passes into our half. It has worked geniusly. Yes, there are still deficiencies, but it is working. 2 clean sheets back to back is no small feat. The last time Jamaica did this was all the way in 2020. We did it in a 0-0 draw against Trinidad, and then right after we played in the Nations League versus the United States in a 1-0 victory. For me, that's plaything. This is the big leagues. This is World Cup qualifications final round, and even this heat of battle, we're able to have 6 unanswered goals. Come on, man. Come on. Hats off to the boys. Hats off. Now, VAR helped us out big time, but when I watch the replays, and that's the interesting about watching it live in the stadium versus on the TV, live it felt like, oh my God, we're so lucky. When I watch the replays, Levi Garcia is so offside, it's obvious. So what I can say is hats off to the defense. I remember the first goal that he scored. Lowe was the one who stepped forward to literally force the offside. So hats off to the boys. They're playing well. We're defending as a team. And the truth is, our success in the World Cup has to be based on a strong defense, a disciplined defense, organized defense, and this is what we're building. And with a strong defense, with the natural pace, the athleticism that we have in our team, perfect. All we need is a little fitness, and it will be perfect. Number 2, the coach's tactical decisions were immaculate. Now, going into this match, me along with many Reggae Boyz fans were begging, pleading, asking, can we get some consistency? Can we get the same lineup we got against Bermuda? And of course, that was given. We saw in the beginning of the match, we were the dominant team. We were attacking in waves after waves after waves. This of course, was captained by Cephas. Cephas was our most effective and dangerous attacker in the first about 30 minutes. Now, of course, this led to Dwight York making some tactical changes. He asked Trinidad to come over and assist young Cardines. Listen, before that, Cardines was sweating. Cardines looked worried. He looked scared. Cephas was dominating. Nearly killed the poor man. My wife was like, oh God, poor thing. Believe me. Now, of course, Trinidad was able to come over and assist young Rio Cardines. And of course, this would have shut down Cephas. Now, unfortunately, Cephas doesn't have the versatility yet to try something different. However, nonetheless, the game progressed. From there, we saw that we lost our out ball. The out ball, that long ball to Cephas, it was shut down. Every time we hoofed the ball down, it came back in waves of red. Back to back to back. We had no out ball. Now, this continued into the end of the first half, into the early second half. Now, before we get to the early second half, I just want to point out that one of the changes was due to something that happened in the first half. Palmer getting a yellow card. Of course, into the second half, early second half, another point for Coach McLaren. 2 points, 3 points in fact, because he made 2 early substitutions in the second half by taking off Casey Palmer, who was on a yellow card, looking to get a second one to get a red card. He took him off and brought on Keroy Anderson, along with taking off Tyrese Campbell, who for me, he was disappointing. I was expecting more from him. Being that so many defenders were on Cephas, I was expecting him to exploit this and, of course, creating more chances. Unfortunately, it didn't go that way, but again, the coach made the correct change. Now, when Dixie came on and Anderson came on, we saw a change in tides. The coach made a great choice here. We saw where Anderson was able to go alongside Hayden into the midfield and, of course, provide a partnership. Anderson did something Russell didn't do all game. What was that? Go get the ball from the defense. Anderson was able to turn, get the ball from the defense, ask for it, conduct the midfield, turn, look for passes. Good job for Anderson, from Anderson when he came on. But the star of the show, the most important player last night, was young Dixon. Dixon got the ball, kill one man, kill two man, turn around to the coach, to the crowd, reel up the coach. He had the crowd pumping, he had the teammates pumping. One time Nicholson Shamar fell on the floor later on in the second half. Dixon ran to him and pull him up, and he had the bench going, he had his coach going, and that changed the tide of the game. That is when Jamaica started to attack again in waves, and you could sense the second goal coming. Now, of course, he took off Casey Palmer, this is the coach, and placed Anderson along the field in the double pivot with Hayden. That allowed for Russell to go ahead and do what Russell does. He went ahead and he was able to crush into the midfield. That is what he does. He is not a ball-playing midfielder. He's more along the line of the type of player to run into the midfield and score goals. And that is what he did. From a beautiful pass from one substitute, chipping it over to young Bailey Cadamarteri, trying to get the ball, and of course it ricocheted down to Russell, and Russell was able to score a goal. How did that happen? 1, the substitute from the coach. 2, the boldness to start young Bailey Cadamarteri. And 3, the boldness to put Russell up further into the field, while of course the option was there to just take him up. Because for me, Russell was very silent in the first half. But it didn't end there. Of course, later on, we saw where Dwight York went on to attempt to throw the kitchen sink at the game. He started to bring on additional attackers, and from there, our coach was able to make additional substitutes to see the game out. He took off Cephas and brought on another defender. He also brought on the young midfielder. His name is slipping right now, and he played very, very, very well. Overall, the coach did well. He was able to outwit Dwight York, and for me, that deserves a round of applause to the coach. Good job, coach. Number 3, squad selection worries. I do not envy this coach one bit. This is going to be a difficult task. Our next international window will be just as pivotal as this. We will have a difficult game away to Curacao. We've won 6 points from 6, scored 6 goals, conceded none. Our players should be proud, and everyone who contributed should have a right to continue with the squad. However, we have quite a number of people out. Just as a reminder, we have Liam Bailey out. We have Andre Gray out. We have Bernard out. We have Latibo Deer. We have Reed out, Bobby Reed. We have Demari Gray. We have Ethan Pinnock. We have Amari Bell. Those are 8 usual starters. Usually, all of those players start. Of course, with the exception of Bernard, probably he wouldn't start. But with that huge number of returning players, the question is, who will miss out? And for me, I would love to see Whisper back. That's 9. Not to mention he who should not be named, Mr. Greenwood. I'm hearing today that it's likely that he will be back or he will be joining the squad in October. That's 10 players. Who will miss out? For me, it is such a difficult job. And anyone who is missing out should be feeling hard done by. Because when you think about it, Shamar scored a pivotal goal in the last match. Shamar came on in the Trinidad match and played very, very well as well. Dixon has played well. Tyrese Campbell represented himself well. For me, the only starter who should come right back in is the captain, Andre Blake. Mr. Waite represented himself well, but of course they were shaky moments. For me, Andre Blake, definitely right in. But the question is, which one of these returning players should definitely be placed into the squad? Some persons might argue Pinnock. I argue otherwise. The partnership we have at the centre-back position has been great. Some would say Bell. I would argue otherwise. Greg Lay has represented himself well, and for many in the Trinidad match, Greg Lay was the best player on the park. It is quite a situation that I myself would not be in, because clearly there will be unhappy players. And let me tell you something. Nothing beats job security. Sometimes I think we forget that these footballers, it's pretty much their job. And how would you feel going into work every day not knowing if you are guaranteed a spot the next day? How does that affect your motivations? How does that affect your ability to perform at your highest level? I can't read their minds, but I guarantee you it plays on their thoughts. Can you imagine you drive and do your best, but when that plane goes off into the World Cup, you're left out? For me, that would be devastating. Number 4, Bailey Cadamarteri has arrived. The young man is here and he is here to stay. In one of my post-match interviews, one of the fans in the stadium would have said that he believes that we have our striker for the next 15 years, and I have to agree. The young man is the full package. In the Bermuda game, unfortunately, he did not score, but he showed what he had to offer. Last night, he scored, and he scored at a pivotal moment when Trinidad had us pinned to the wall. Trust me, he's a good goal scorer, he's clinical, he's decisive, and I am looking forward to great things. His pace is deadly. From last night's match, let me read a few stats for you. 6 out of 9 accurate passes. 2 out of 2 with his shot accuracy, which means he shoots on sight and it is accurate. In the stadium last night, I hear them calling him Brown Man. Brown Man from Mandeville, from Manchester. You know what that means. He's a killer. And we look forward for great things from Mr. Bailey. Number 5, in the words of Oral Tracy, soap! World Cup is a surety. Let me tell you something. Right now, we're on a total of 6 points. Curacao is on 4. Trinidad is on 1. Bermuda is on 0. And last night, if you were to take a props over to the Bermuda versus Curacao game, Bermuda and Curacao on the ropes. Is a last-minute winner at home they had to rely on. And let me tell you something. This Curacao team that everyone is talking about is so amazing. We're going to kill them. We're going to go down at them yard, take them 3 points, and secure a World Cup. That's 5 things we learned. Let's get it.